Rock and roll and advertising have long been strange bedfellows. Do you guys remember Van Halen's Right Now, like in that cheesy Crystal Pepsi commercial? Or when the Beatles Revolution showed up as a soundtrack to a Nike ad? Oh, my God. On this week's Loudini Rock and Roll Circus podcast, we're going to look at 15, I don't know, maybe a few more, a few less, who's counting, TV commercials that co-opted rock and metal to promote their products and decide if using rock songs to sell stuff is ever a good idea. Get ready to rock out with your talk out. It's the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. My name is Lou Lombardi, a.k.a. Loudini. We need to get the Loudini singers. You know, we need a sexy voice, like a chick with a sexy voice going, "We're Loudini."
Oh, boy.
Something like that. No?
Sure.
Yes? No. Yes, no, maybe so. Anyways, welcome back, guys. It's another week. It is right now, as we're recording this, it is Thanksgiving week, so we hope that you are giving thanks for all the viruses and everything that are out there, and the new president. Hopefully, everybody's giving thanks for all that stuff. No more Cheetos. Sorry. Anyways, guys, welcome back to I don't know what I'm talking about. Wolf's Customs is what I'm trying to talk about, Keith. That's what I'm trying to talk about, okay?
Judas?
Somebody stop me. Wolf's Customs. Get yourself a custom Holoflash. Look at that. Look at that. If for you folks that are just listening, you're really missing out because right now Keith is holding up a genuine Holoflash mug. I guess that's compliments. When you get a Holoflash job, what? They send you out a mug, maybe some stuff like that, a little swag. For I got
a duffel bag too.
And so you want to go to wolfscustoms.online. Talk to Chris Thunderwolf Dodson about getting a custom job done on your guitar, drum set, bass, whatever your thing is. He can gussy it up, man, and you're going to look just. I'm telling you, you're going to look so nice. The ladies they're going to lose their minds when they see your new guitar or your new drum set. So check them out. Go to wolfscustoms.online. And I never give enough credit to these folks out here at Rock Rage Radio. Go to rockrageradio.com. We are nuts here about music, and they are all about music there at Rock Rage Radio. Rock and roll, great guitar-driven rock, 24/7, right down your throat and right up your ass all the time. No matter where you go, you can listen to it. You can download the app, take it with you on your mobile device, and enjoy great music and great shows like this one, the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus, as well as Hot Licks.
With Lily Six.
With Lily Six. And when is that again, Lily?
Thursdays at 6 p.m.
And speaking of hot rocks, what's it called?
Hot Licks.
Hot Rocks. It's called Hot Rocks now. Hot Cocks with Lily V6. With Lily V6, we have Lily V6 from Hot Licks with Lily 6 here. Lily, how did you get this show going? Like, what made you want to do something like this?
Well, actually, I was just randomly messaged one day saying, "Hey, do you want a radio show?" I said, who doesn't want a radio show? John from Rock Rage Radio saw that I had a huge following of metal and rock people and sort of just happened. So there it is. You
need your own show. That's like a Hollywood, just like walking down the street and on Sunset Boulevard and somebody grabbing you and putting you in a TV show or a movie or something. So rock and roll dreams still come true, right, Keith the Hawk Hawkins?
Yes.
That is correct.
So what is in that beautiful Holoflash mug that you were drinking out of this evening?
This is Crown Royal.
Ooh.
One of Canada's finest.
Next to Rush, that was the other great export from Canada is a Crown Royal.
It's almost like Sweden. There's two great exports from Sweden, ABBA and porn.
And there it is. And boom goes the dynamite.
And porn. Is Swedish porn really the best?
And
Keith?
porn goes the dynamite.
I'm only going by what John Candy said on Splash. He said all your finer nudie film come from Sweden. So that's why how he knew how to said that word. You know, that little sentence he said, which I don't remember what he said. But
I just bought that movie on DVD.
I hope you didn't pay a lot for it.
I think it was $5.
It's funny. I hope you didn't pay a lot for it.
It was on the Amazon was doing a sale.
Damn.
Oh, goodness gracious. So, you are listening to Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. You can check us out. We're going to be switching this promotion up here in the next couple weeks. So go to LouLombardiRocks.com. That is going to change soon. So that's where it is right now. Lots of cool stuff coming. Keith and I have had recorded a few tracks, and I got another one getting ready to drop before the end of the year, and another one to drop right after 2021. So we are going to be featuring those coming up real soon. I just got the artwork together this week for it. I've just been busy with a lot of stuff this year, guys, as you can tell. And you probably have been too. Things threw me for a bit of a loop, so a little bit behind schedule, but we are heavily into it here, so check it out. LouLombardiRocks.com. Okay, so let's get into today's topic, which is rock songs showing up in commercials. Using rock songs to sell stuff. Now, there is, I think for the most part, it's crap. Total BS. Should never be done. Especially way some of the examples we're going to give you have been done. The songs were literally used to sell the product. It wasn't just like the band showed up in the commercial or something like that. Like they literally were trying to make these songs as a kind of theme song for fill in the blank product. And a lot of rock fans. I mean, maybe you young folks today, you don't feel this way about your music, but I think everybody in this room, virtually as well, would say to you that no, our music is important to us. We have certain emotions, feelings, times, and places associated with this music. Certain things that that it brings to us, certain memories, even, and to hear it, to see a song like Right Now by Van Halen being used to sell Crystal Pepsi. Does anybody even remember Crystal
Yes,
Pepsi?
I do. I used to love Crystal Pepsi.
Okay, well.
But I was also like 10.
Yeah. And it is a kind of a slap in the face to what rock and roll is all about, in my opinion. And I think for the most part, that's true. That's true of most of the examples we're going to talk about. There are moments where it has been done in a very clever way, a really fun way, that is kind of like not too smarmy, but for the most part, I think it's pretty smarmy. The other thing to keep in mind, guys, when you see this happening, is that a lot of times these artists don't have the rights. They don't have there's certain different kind of rights they get. Yes, they're going to get songwriting royalties and stuff like that, but the publisher is the one that has the rights to decide how the song can be used. So,
there's no control.
That sometimes they don't have any control. They don't like they like it as much as you like it, or they hate it as much as you hate it. So just kind of keep that in mind with this. So on that, with that little preamble there, 40 years ago, Lily.
Yes.
Let's get into this because I know you said you watched all the commercials.
I watched all the ones I'm talking about today.
You didn't watch every commercial ever?
No.
Oh.
That would take too long. I'd probably take a nap. But this also, to bounce off what you said, this also goes with that topic we had where some songs are overplayed. This helped with that whole thing too. But the first one I'm going to talk about is Motley Crue's Kickstart My Heart for a Kia commercial that came out during the 2012 Super Bowl 46. It literally goes from playing the song Mr. Sandman by the Chordettes right to Kickstart My Heart. And the band makes an appearance in the commercial. Adriana Lima, who is a supermodel, makes an appearance in the commercial. Because what happens is this couple is sleeping, they're dreaming. The woman is dreaming of being on a white horse with a really attractive prince, and the guy's dreaming of Adriana Lima half naked in front of him driving this Kia that's a race car.
Wow,
race car. Watching Motley Crue as he drives by play the songs. So
I had the same dream last night. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I'll bet. So
except for Motley Crue was replaced by I don't know, King Crimson.
Oh, and Chuck Liddell, the MMA fighter, he also makes an appearance in the commercial.
He is, and I watched that too, and that is funny because it was a Kia Optima commercial, and then Molly Crew did show up in it. Even Tommy Lee looks confused, like he always does.
Well, that's typical. They just place him behind the drums, and he just does that. He doesn't know what's going on.
Well, I think his brain went to a different part of his body, and it gave him power. So that's just the whole other thing.
But yeah, this guy's dreaming of his Kia race car.
And when was this?
2012 Super Bowl 46.
Okay.
Is when that aired.
Oh, so this is one of the Super Bowl
That was one
things.
of the Super Bowl ones, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a
that's
big
great.
deal, a lot of money put behind it, obviously, to have a supermodel, Motley Crue, and Chuck Liddell in the commercial.
Do you think so?
He's an MMA fighter.
Oh, MMA.
Yeah.
So, is it cool?
It's cool-ish, but
Yeah.
it's I don't know.
That's a cool one, man. Yeah, I watched it. It was like, it probably cost a gazillion dollars to make, but it's a Super Bowl ad. A lot of these are Super Bowl ads where you just get these one-time commercials, and they might run off a little bit after a couple weeks after the Super Bowl. And these things cost like, mega millions for 30 seconds, and it's like pretty crazy. I think this one might be a tad longer than that, but it's
Yeah, it was they actually aired it on YouTube before they aired it for the Super Bowl, so people got a sneak peek of that. But yeah.
Do you have any figures on what Motley Crue is paid?
No, I do not have that info. A lot. I think that came out, what was that, like, that was not the second Crew Fest, so they weren't doing anything, literally, at this time. Just touring.
How do they look?
Not bad.
Not bad. What do you think, Keith?
Vince was heavier. This was what?
Do they look cool, or do they
8
look
years
just
ago.
like old guys in a Kia commercial? Like they should be driving a Kia.
No, it looks fine,
probably
man. I
do.
think they're not going to unload that shit on people that are there when they're looking, awful. I mean, yeah, Vince is a little heavier, but what are you going to do? Tommy Lee looks like Tommy Lee, and I don't really think that's the only two I really seen up close. I didn't see Mick or Nikki Sixx. It's kind of like from afar. It was like just a brief shot of
It was real quick.
the band.
It's a real quick driving by the concert.
Some pyrotechnics going on. It's typical, like what you would see at a Motley Crue concert.
I saw an article where Vince said that he's working with a trainer.
Have you
everything,
seen him?
And he's getting in shape.
actually looks
he's
pretty good.
Because they want to tour next year. So,
He's actually looking pretty good. I saw the picture. He's
and he should work with a freaking vocal coach.
right.
I was going to say you can be in shape like insert whatever dude that's in great shape here. You can be in the best shape of your life, and if you still can't, that's not going to make you sing better, Vince.
Well,
But as long as you're skinny, man, that's all that matters.
think
But
about
go
it this
ahead,
way:
Vince.
how many people are at that concert are female and just really want to look at him? We
Oh,
dropped
I
Keith.
can't get up.
Probably
Damn.
at least 70% of the people at that concert are women. They want to just look at him.
When that happens, Keith, I got to get that sound bite. I've fallen and I can't get up. And that every time you drop that. Why don't you get a freaking
I did.
tripod?
I don't know what the hell happened to it.
Chris Thunderwolf wants to welcome his father to the show tonight. W.R. Bill Dodson is watching. So.
Salute! Salute, my friend. Welcome.
What did you
Welcome.
do to
Come
her?
one, come all to the Midnight Ball. So, let's pick another one. So, we got Kickstart My Heart for a Kia commercial. And I say,
Right.
so
Some
far-
of these, to be honest with you, are head scratchers, man. Like,
Go ahead, you got one.
I got one here, which is one of the most popular songs of all time, but I just don't get the connection to it. Like I said, it's brief. I watched this commercial briefly. I don't know the backstory completely on it. But the song is, everybody knows Sweet Home Alabama, but it's for a KFC commercial, which is Kentucky Fried Chicken, so I don't get it.
I didn't even watch that one.
I watched it, and even like the little description at the bottom is like, why did they use Sweet Home Alabama for KFC? Because isn't it Kentucky Fried Chicken? So, I mean, these are things that I just can't explain. I can't explain the lack of money in my bank account. Oh, yeah, I can. That's a whole other thing. I can't explain the strange light that, flashes outside my window every night that I can't figure out what the hell it is.
Yeah, I don't know who the marketing people were on that commercial, but Alabama, Kentucky, pretty sure they're two different states. I don't know anymore. I mean, I don't make the rules, so who knows?
I mean, some of the states are a little greedy. I mean, do we really need 2 Dakotas?
Right. Carolinas.
Do you need 2 Virginias? I mean,
Right.
Well, that makes absolutely no freaking sense.
Yeah. It's odd to me.
I wondered about that myself. This is from the internet. Why does KFC show commercials with Sweet Home Alabama song? And went and researched and found an answer directly from KFC. We appreciate that you took the time to contact us regarding one of our commercials. We are always happy to hear from our customers. In regards to your question as to why the song Sweet Home Alabama is being played in the background of this particular commercial, it is because it's Southern inspired, and that's what KFC is all about.
Okay, well, still don't make sense. Sorry.
That's that's not going to answer my question. I'm sorry there, Colonel Sanders.
Thank you for contacting us. Regards, Diane Blome, KFC Public Relations. This was in response to a letter from the governor of Kentucky, wrote inquiring about the commercial and if KFC was disavowing Kentucky, disowning Kentucky.
That's great. That's great.
Oh, my
But at the
God.
end of the day, let me just quote the late, great Colonel Sanders when I say, I'm too drunk to taste just chicken.
That's great.
You know, I heard that Jim Gaffigan was going to be the new Colonel Sanders, but he did like a few commercials and then they got somebody else.
Oh.
I swear to God, they change it like every other week.
But he would have been good. They should have stuck with him, man. He would be good for that.
Let me do it.
Yeah, I could do it. Let's
I
do
could
it.
do it too. I'll just bring it on.
You're not a Kentucky colonel though. You're a Mississippi. No,
I'm a-
you're a New Orleans colonel.
I'm a Louisiana lieutenant.
And there it is.
What's next?
I have Scorpions Rock You Like a Hurricane for Fiber One cereal cookie bars. This was from 2014. You hear it right at the beginning. It's providing a soundtrack for the commercial. Is a nerdy employee is carrying around a shipment of Fiber One's new line of cookies, and he's met by a series of like awestruck female customers. It's kind of funny to watch, but he thinks everybody's checking him out, and really they just want the cookies. But all these women are just like reaching for him, and they just wanted the cookie. That's all. So Scorpions gets to be in a Fiber One commercial. Yay.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because if you need more fiber in your life, listen to the Scorpions, because that'll get you right there.
Oh my God.
It's great.
What is wrong with people, man? Rock You Like a Hurricane. This is a song about, well, let's be honest, it's about banging.
Yeah.
It's about getting
It
a
is.
freak on.
doing the dirty.
That's what I would say.
I mean, I remember when that song came out and we were all like, you know, because we knew what you were talking about. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more, say no more.
You are on that a lot.
And no. No.
Now
It's
it's
really
less-
about cookies.
We're lusting for cookies, not peeing. We keep
You
dropping
better
it.
do something with that cell phone.
Your cell phone's drunk.
That's
The
probably
cell
me.
phone has been drinking.
I gotta find that goddamn tripod because this thing's killing me.
Yeah.
It's just
So you think it's about that, and it's about cookies, and you know, it'd be
Fiber
different-
cookies at that.
I was gonna make a joke like tossing your cookies. That doesn't work. It's like because the song's about tossing your salad, not about tossing your cookies.
It's tossing something.
What the heck is wrong with these people?
Marketing people.
Come on, there's got to be another song they could have used. Like, how about "C is for cookie"? That's good enough for
Maybe
me.
they couldn't get the rights. I mean, Jim Henson and all.
that's
That's
I don't
Disney
know
owned
if
now, so.
It's not going to go over well. Though. People you can't really rock to see it's for cookie.
If they did it as like a growling metal song, I bet you we can make it work.
I mean,
You got
like,
that.
I haven't seen
What's
this
that?
commercial. Or is it like the people eating because it's Fiber One? Are they looking all svelte and like getting ready to get busy? Or
No. No, it's like 40-year-old moms looking at this young kid with cookies in his hand.
Oh, so they wanted
Like
so,
this
so
box
like
boy.
Like they're gonna do him, but they just want to do his cookies.
They just want the cookies. Yeah.
Wow.
If I was that kid, man, I'd have worked that shit to death. I'd be like, "What's it worth to you? You can have the whole box. What you gonna do?"
Do you guys remember the bit that Andrew Dice Clay used to do about fat chicks? Where he'd be
No.
like, he says, normally, to get like a hot chick, you need Coke. He says, I go for the fat ones. All I got to do is stop at a convenience store and pick up a Snickers bar before I go out.
See, he wouldn't get me with Snickers. He'd have to get me a Milky Way. I don't like Snickers.
Helps you work, rest, or play.
Whatever.
Well, this show is in no way sponsored by Milky Way or Fiber One
or Snickers
or the Scorpions, for that matter. Oh, God damn you, Scorpions! Curse you! Mm-hmm. Oh, how far you have fallen from this. Oh goodness! From this. What's the song? Seas of Sharon. Yeah, that was their big. That was their great song, and then they. Oh God! Now they're in a cookie commercial.
Fiber cookies.
Well, okay,
it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame.
Because your damn age, they get a little incontinent. So, Keith, how are you feeling tonight, brother? You're not feeling incontinent, are you?
Nah, but I'm gonna lay this one out.
Oh boy, here we go.
This one is freaking epic. You ready for this one?
Yes.
Volkswagen has some good taste. Volkswagen did a commercial where a guy was stopped at a traffic light and Fly By Night was on.
I did read about that.
He air drummed his ass off to it, man, like nailing it. Every little fill, every little thing, and the next thing you know, he's busted by some dude crossing the crosswalk, and he starts laughing at him. Then commercial just fades out. But Volkswagen has some pretty good taste. Great song, but I mean, the guy that playing the role, man, might have been a drummer. He had all the shit down. So,
do you find yourself doing that at stoplights?
Nah.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. I don't know. I rarely air drum. Like I used to go to concerts. I see everybody air drum, and everybody's a drummer when the solo, solo and Tom Sawyer comes up, in the middle. But it's everybody does that one. But it's or in the air tonight or something, that people can just gravitate towards. But it's for me, I just don't really ever air drum that often. I think it's just maybe I'm too shy.
You.
Me and Kajaguga.
I'm a guitar player, so I air drum, but I don't really play air guitar. And I
sing. Singing is what embarrasses the hell out of, like, if I sing like in front of people when Samantha's around, she'll like go in a fucking corner and hide.
Yeah, I sing in the car, but I'm a horrible singer. Horrible.
Me too. Like I've lost gigs because bands would be like, "Well, we got another drummer coming and he sings." I'm like, never mind.
Well, then I guess I lost.
No, seriously. I mean, there was some probably. I mean, this hasn't happened here yet, but back when I lived in Pittsburgh, I probably lost 2 to 3 decent gigs. I mean, at least gigs that were paying and playing out places, but they might have been top 40 or country pop or blues or something where it's like they want a lot of harmonies going on, and I just can't deliver that for you. I'm sorry.
This is from the website from Cygnus X1. Which is a Rush fan site. One thing I always appreciated about Rush is that they don't shill products. It's a cute commercial, but I hope it disappears from the face of the earth. I don't want to think German cars when I hear Fly By Night. I am surprised and disappointed that this happened. Let's see the boys get recognition for their amazing talent and music, not the products they endorse. The best thing about this commercial is that they used a good classic tune and not something off of Moving Pictures for a change.
I kind of feel like it wasn't done in bad taste, though.
I think that there is a sort of fine line, right? Is it in bad taste? And,
I think it's an awesome commercial. I don't really know what people are getting at. If you're that uptight where a commercial bothers you, then you might want to go evaluate yourself.
Stop watching TV.
I know. I get it. I get it. I get exactly what the guy was saying because the guy feels a certain way about the song. The song's probably really important to him, and now when he hears it, he's going to be thinking about a stupid Volkswagen commercial. And I do think that it diminishes the music. As much as I love Rush, and I would, if I saw the commercial came on, I'd probably rock out to it. Yeah, and I'd probably giggle and like the whole thing. But what the point the guy is making, I think, is completely legit. So that's my 2 cents. My 2 cents on that. What do you got, Lily?
I think you're shallow prick.
I've got Boston's More Than a Feeling for Yo Play Yogurt.
There you go.
In 2016, Boston's classic More Than a Feeling is being used in a commercial for yogurt. The connection, Yo Play's latest flavor is Boston cream pie. So
what?
And not only that, it's Boston cream pie light, so it's only 90 calories, and it's so good, so they say. You want more than a feeling. That's the tagline, and it's super cheesy. It's cartoon swirls of yogurt and colorfully circling around the screen. It's very like kid-like, and I don't know. Doesn't make me want to eat yogurt, but Yeah, it's definitely in there.
Oh my goodness. From ultimateclassicrock.com, More Than a Feeling's being used in a commercial for yogurt. The Connection, Yoplay's latest flavor, is a Boston cream pie, light as Lily said. 90 calories. It's so good when you want more than a feeling.
Right. That's horrible.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Touts the tagline as the cartoon swirls of yogurt colorfully circle the screen. Since its release in 1976, More Than a Feeling has racked up probably more airplay on classic radio than just about any other song by a band named after a major U.S. city.
That's legit.
Hit the top 5 on the pop chart, staying there for 20 weeks and igniting the group's career. Wow. This when you want more than a feeling, Keith, eat Yoplait Boston cream pie light. It's important.
Yeah. I'm gonna try it.
Wow.
I know, so lame. That was a cheesy one, I thought.
Okay, so what do you got, Keith?
This one here surprised me a little bit. I don't really think you hear any vocals in this one, but you do hear this massive riff for the Hardees Carl Jr. Steakhouse Thick Burger, and this is "I'm Broken" by Pantera, which sounds like a heavy version of The Ocean by Led Zeppelin, but you don't hear any vocals come in, but you do hear that awesome dime bag riff come in. And it's the commercial I didn't see till today, but Pantera was, I'm sure, probably paid for it. So, hopefully. That's a story you never get, but...
What was the company again? What were they advertising again?
It was Hardees Carl Jr. It's that hamburger joint.
That thick burger.
Hardees.
Really?
Steakhouse. It was like... The beginning of it was like at this fancy steakhouse, and it was always like, then it all of a sudden like morphed into this like fast food burger, and then all of a sudden you hear that down, and then that big riff comes in, and then it was no vocals or entered or anything. It was just the head of the song, and it's kind of just went on for 15, 20 seconds, and they rapped about Carl's Jr. Hardee's Burgers, Steakhouse Thick Burger, and they went on their way.
Hardee's had this hamburger that was made the news. It was so controversial because it had so much fat and calories in it. It was like had the most fat and calories of like everybody's like big hamburger, like more than Wendy's biggest like triple and all that with like you could take a Wendy's with triple and bacon and extra cheese and everything.
Sounds
and
like
this had more than that. I had that hamburger, by the way.
Was it good?
And it was kick ass.
I'll bet, because it is full fat burger.
It was absolutely frickin'. I don't remember the name of it, man. This is probably 10 years ago or something like that. And,
I heard it came with a defibrillator when you ate it.
oh, man. I didn't care. I'm like, if I'm going out, I'm going out eating this thing.
You're going on happy.
It was,
How many patties were on
that
that
was
thing?
absolutely kick-ass. I mean, if Pantera's going to do a commercial, at least, though, they didn't put the lyrics in, right? Because that really cheeses it up. And
That
just,
would make it bad.
Yeah, that would make no sense.
And
I just think that someone just liked the riff. Probably, it's a great riff. It's just bit Pantera, so that's a plus. But a lot of these commercials get shown in markets I probably don't live in. So we'll just go with the fact that Hardees wanted a kick-ass heavy metal riff, and that's what they got. I don't even know how old the commercial is, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it could be really old. The other thing is, you see different commercials in different countries too. It's funny, like celebrities like Brad Pitt and stuff. You don't see them do commercials in America, but they do commercials in Japan and in Europe. It's interesting. So I don't know if either one of you guys ran across anything like that when you were looking up shit.
Nah. Mine are all American.
Well, no, what I mean is like if maybe some of these bands had stuff in other countries or whatever. Anyways, so who's next? What's next?
I've got this one's sad. Fleetwood Mac's "Go Your Own Way" for Anoro. Do you guys know what Anoro is? It's a COPD treatment. So this came out in 2017. It just gives me the impression, and I know they're older, but this makes me just feel like they're super old. But the commercial, it is a cover. It's not Fleetwood Mac singing it, but it is a cover of the song.
Yeah.
It's like a typical medication commercial. You see families out doing things and like talking generically about their issue, and then it gives like side effects at the end of the commercial in like the true fashion of a medical commercial. So it just makes me sad that the song is appearing.
My favorite part of all those commercials is the side effects. May cause death and having breathing and
anal seepage.
Anal seepage. See your doctor if symptoms persist.
You have so many side effects, you forget what the hell's wrong with you in the first place. That's the
Right.
whole thing.
Makes me
Oh
sad.
my god.
I don't even remember my ass bleeding like that. This is ridiculous. I had so much other stuff going on. I had a whole a calendar full of things. It's ridiculous.
That one
Nose is
makes
bleeding.
me super sad out of all of them, though, I think.
What about the John Lee Hooker song in the
I don't know that one.
in the Viagra commercial?
Is it boom, boom, boom?
Yeah. I think it's Wait a minute, hold on a second here.
No offense to John Lee, but I don't know too many other songs by him. I'm just not that big into the blues, I guess.
Hold a second here. We'll tell you guys in a second.
Yeah.
It's that song.
Yeah.
It's called Dimples. Sorry. But that's in a Viagra commercial.
That seems appropriate.
I mean, like, you think of... I don't think John Lee Hooker or Howlin' Wolf or any of those guys had any trouble getting it up. I'm sorry. Those guys
no.
probably to the
know.
day they died, man. Like, if you got too close, man, in the nursing home, your ass was grass. John Lee have you
Tore
like
up.
right there, man. Right there in the... he'd be in there with the bathroom with the, the handlebars on and the whole thing, man. Man, come on, baby. You get right on. Hop on, man. I'll get right now.
All of a sudden, John Lee Hooker turned into Blind Melon Chitlin.
Blind Melon Chitlin. Wow.
From the Cheech and Chong days. Damn, that's going back in the day.
So that's. I remember seeing that. I'm like, because every time it would come on, and I think there's some car, like some cool classic muscle car, and I'm like, oh, what's this is cool? And then you're rocking out for a second, and you're going, oh this is a Viagra commercial.
Some of the Viagra commercials are great, though.
Why?
Because they're funny.
Oh God.
They make me laugh.
When your mind's in the mood, but your wiener won't cooperate. I think that's what happens when you get older.
That's what it's called. No, it's called whiskey dick.
Oh, Willie Whiskey Dick. So what do you got, Keith?
I'm looking. Hold on a damn minute. All right, so whenever you go to this place, I want you to think of this song because Applebee's released a commercial with Thin Lizzy's Boys Are Back in Town, which is a classic, great classic song. But it was for their little trifecta of heart attacks, some riblets, some shrimp, and tenders. That came on one plate, and God knows what else they were throwing in there. And Applebee's wanted you to think of Thin Lizzy when you ate your riblets, shrimp, and tenders.
It gets better. It's all you can eat shrimp.
Oh,
riblets,
then
and
that's
tenders.
even better because the boys are back in town. Get it?
It did make me hungry when I watched it, but that came out in 2014.
Applebee's is one of them places you can go to, probably have a decent meal, but then you just know that maybe if you order, like if you have an appetizer, like say like you have nachos, there might be like some stuff in there you just didn't order because I just think they're a little disorganized at times.
A little bit.
Because it's such like it's like okay food, but it's not like great. It's kind of that.
It's like my go-to if I have no other choices.
Yeah, it's a step, definitely a step or two above fast food. Right. But it's not like a 5-star restaurant, so you might still get like there might be a piece of onion in your nachos, and it's like you didn't even order onions for it. It's just like you can tell they got some unexperienced. You don't probably have to have a culinary degree to work at Applebee's. No.
Is this true that Led Zeppelin's Rock and Roll was featured in a Cadillac commercial?
Sure is.
It's on my list,
2010.
and I heard they got paid big bucks for that, and they were cool with it because they got paid so much. There was a lot of zeros in that commercial.
It's actually a pretty cool commercial. So like it's this guy who's
I
guy from back in the day gets on a train and he sees an old Cadillac ad and the train speeds up and blah 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 and it goes to the new Cadillac that's driving around. He's watching it happen. He at the end of the commercial he's today seeing the new Cadillac ad as he gets off the train. It's kind of cool. Kind of a cool ad. But yeah, I can imagine that being expensive. But that was from 2010.
I don't know, man.
It was a cool commercial because they used an old Cadillac.
Well, I think what happens is, I think the other side of it is you get to rock out to a song, and it's kind of cool to hear. But I kind of think that by the time a rock song gets to the point where it's going to be used in a commercial, is that rock song kind of over? Has it lost its rock and rollness?
I kind of believe that was one of our ones on the "It's played too much" list.
Yeah. It might be.
So-
I mean, it was on that list, but I'm just saying that, like,
Yeah.
you know, I just I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it.
Like I said, once again, I heard they got paid for that one more than they gave a one of those. I just can't say no to this because it's such a big number.
Oh, that was a Super Bowl ad, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a Super Bowl ad.
So yeah, they probably paid way too much for that.
Oh yeah, you could definitely look. They got paid for that, and it was like I said, it was something very, very impressive.
Yeah, that's like I said, it's just odd. I don't know how to explain it other than this just seems weird to me. This is music. I mean, to me, because rock is all kind of like anti-establishment, and it's funny. Like so many rockers are like socialist and hate capitalism and everything, but if you give them enough money, they'll appear.
I mean, everybody's got a price. Let's be real about it.
You know what I mean? They all know, but it's okay for them to appear in a commercial. I don't know. Lily kind of jumped in on that. What do you got? Something, Keith?
No, I had that one on my list. I just agreed with it. That's all. It was one of them ones that it's an iconic song. Maybe it's overplayed, whatever, but it is definitely in a Cadillac commercial, and it's not that long of a commercial. So, you have too much money when you're paying that kind of money for someone's services or 30 seconds of a song, if that. So, but more power to it. They saw a lot of cars. What are you going to do?
Well, I mean, sometimes, I think that, I feel like, who am I to criticize Led Zeppelin? But that's my job. That's what we're here for. We critique, stuff having to do with rock music. That's our job. So we're here to say our opinion about it and what we think about it and why we think it. So
poo-poo.
So on that crap.
I didn't know you were going to criticize Led Zeppelin. I wouldn't have shut up.
Now he's mad at you. You happy?
So do you have another one you want to talk about, Keith?
I'm in a fucking room in the mood. Yeah, this one is odd. That's all I can say about it. This is a strange one, that I just happened to stumble upon. TV Land. You remember TV Land? I think it's probably still around somewhere. TV Land were basically trying to get you to watch their channel, but it would even be better for them because they put in Breaking the Law by Judas Priest in the background when Barney Fife's making a no arrest. He don't even have any bullets in his gun, so what the hell is he doing?
Oh, God.
And it just kind of showed, like, clips of, Andy Griffith, Bonanza, whatever cowboy shit's on that time. It's TV Land. So it's any old show.
I have not seen this. Is this real? Are you shitting me?
No,
I'm not
real.
making
Judas
this
Priest
up.
breaking the law for TV Land.
No, that's legit.
Yeah. Because I think it's on what the hell is that one? If it's on Watch Mojo or Loudwire, it's one of those two. It's one of the more popular ones that I get a lot of insight from. But because even the guy that was, I think it was definitely seen it on YouTube. There was a lot of discussion going on, and the guy was like, I don't know what the hell TV Land's thinking here, but we got Breaking the Law rolling in the background, and they're trying to get you to watch their station.
I watch
TV Land using the Judas Priest to get you to watch their station. So that's you can't fault them that much.
Holy crap!
I mean, it'd been cool if they used like Painkiller or something, but Breaking the Law is a classic.
Listen. I guess because it was showing Barney Fife or whatever.
It makes sense.
So they were kind of making a joke. They were trying to Barney Fife is metal.
They were reaching.
Barney Fife is kind of metal if you think about it. I mean,
I'm
the crime
thinking
rate
about it, but I'm
between
not
him and
saying
Andy, the crime rate in Mayberry had to be like 0.
Or 1, maybe 1.
I mean, Andy didn't even carry a freaking gun. All he did was lock up that drunk dude all the time, Otis. So you tell me if they were doing a good job or not.
Speaking of doing a good job, Lily.
There's actually a new one out. Came out this year, Aerosmith Sweet Emotion for Dick's Sporting Goods. So apparently during this whole pandemic thing, everybody wants to get outside more for an adventure or walking or sports or what have you. And the spot shows different people engaged in all different manners of like outdoor exercise. Like there's running, boating, all the things. And their tagline is "See you out there," but it's shot in front of the sound of Sweet Emotion, which it was okay. It looked more like a Nike commercial to me, but it was all right. It's the newest one out there right now.
What does Sweet Emotion have to do with
Apparently, your
Dick's
emotions.
Sporting Goods or
Being
or
outside.
getting outside.
I don't know.
You're missing the point, Lombardi. The thing is that song sucks people in because they've heard it a million times. They're like, "Yes, oh, I love Aerosmith. What the hell is this commercial about?" Then you see Dick's Sporting Goods. There you go. It's just about it's that ear candy, man. They're sucking you in like that.
Can I let me give you my 2 cents on stuff like this,
Do it.
especially more recent stuff. You know,
We have to
stuff
go to a
that's
commercial.
happening.
We'll be right back. No, go ahead.
Sponsored by Halen, the all detergent motor oil. Is that I think that they know, and this is just good advertising practice, I guess. They know who their market is, and it's people our age. So they're using songs we know to catch our attention. I mean, let's just call it what it is. So they're putting in Breakin' the Law and Led Zeppelin and Aerosmith because those are bands that we all three of us like here.
And all know very
We all
well.
know very well. So, I mean, that's
So
what,
we're the demographic.
we're the demographic, and so they're playing our music. I mean, if you think back go back and watch television commercials from the 50s. I mean, the music is always like, extra value is what you get when you buy Coronet.
Oh, you mean when they had jingles?
Yeah, like and those are the things that the folks at that time, mainly housewives. Excuse me, I don't mean to be sexist, but
That's the way it was.
It was the 50s and 60s. The cleavers and all that sort of situation. Marcus Welby and that shit. That's what they dug. And so that they had to appeal to them. The people that grew up listening to music from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. That's us, and we are the ones that they're trying to get us to buy stuff. And we're the ones that might need COPD treatment.
Chris Thunderwolf Dotson said, "Dicks are sweet emotion for women."
Nice.
Good one.
Nice. Just for that, Wolf, you should start your own podcast. I think Wolf has his own podcast.
He probably
I
does.
think it'll be Chris Thunderwolf Dodson won't be here all week. Try to do.
The most quotable line of the whole podcast is, again, Lily?
Dicks are a sweet emotion for women.
Dicks are sweet emotion for women.
You ever actually
Dick's
shopped at Dick's?
Yes.
This is why they can afford to make, pay whatever they want for that place is way overpriced.
Outrageous.
Yeah, it's
They're
Way
outrageous.
overpriced. You can go somewhere. I mean, goddamn, that's ridiculous there. I had to go get something for, believe it or not, a deck hockey one time. And I was trying to play deck hockey. I almost broke my damn hip. But everything there was just so expensive, man. I was like, and I know hockey equipment's not cheap, but I mean, it was like I went down into Canonsburg somewhere and found the stuff for probably $30 less. I mean, they really upcharge stuff, and I don't even know how do they sleep at night.
Well, I think that would be a great T-shirt. Dicks are sweet emotion for chicks.
I'd wear
It
it.
depends on what chick it is.
I want a tank top, though. I don't want a t-shirt.
Unless it's a chick with a dick. I'm just
Or
saying.
some
Or
chicks
lesbian.
don't like dicks. Some chicks like other chicks.
Some chicks like little kitty cats. Some chicks like to go out in the woods and build dams with
All right.
beavers.
You're done. You've had enough.
'Cause I don't know. I mean, you probably wouldn't buy that shirt for Melissa Etheridge. She's not gonna wear it.
She probably would.
She probably would.
All right. So speaking of Melissa Etheridge, what do you got next?
Wow. That's
Only-
to you, Keith.
Isn't I
Living
the
in
only
a-
one? Isn't that a commercial? I'm thinking now that every song is a commercial. It's not. What do you got, Keith? You got anything, Keith?
Mm-hmm. This one is "Sympathy for the Devil" by the Rolling Stones, but it's using a Mercedes-Benz commercial, and this one has some actual lines by Willem Dafoe
I
as the
remember that
devil,
one.
and he's making this kid sign off on this car. You'll get this Mercedes-Benz, but then he's like, "How you're making a deal with the devil?" So when he pulls up the contract, he has some real long fingernails, and he has a pen in it. So it's not only did they have to pay for the rights to the song, but they also had to pay Willem Dafoe. It probably didn't come cheap either. So
Legit.
but he looks kind of wild with his long fingernails, and they made it, and he can do his whole creepy thing. And he just, versatile dude. So that was from Mercedes-Benz.
Do you guys remember the commercial that uses "Gimme Shelter" by the
I don't.
Stones?
No. I don't remember that.
What is that?
It sounded like a song. Wait, are you all right over there?
It's me dying. It's slowly dying.
You're not allowed to die.
I'm making notes. I crossed out the ones I've already said.
I can't find it off the top of my head, but it was. I think it's a Red Cross. And
Really?
this was in the very late '80s, and a lot of famous people are in the commercial. Like Randy Travis is in the commercial. Like people that were famous people at that time are actually in the commercial, and they're playing the song "Gimme Shelter." But it's the Red Cross.
You think Randy Travis was drunk during it?
He may have been, but it's the Red Cross, and I always thought that was a cool commercial because it's a song about rough times and bad stuff going down, and who shows up when that happens? The Red Cross. And the Red Cross wasn't selling anything, it was just a sort of like letting the people know that we're here, this is what we do, etc. So I thought that was kind of a cool thing for a use for that song. It was very impactful.
I think it'd been funny if it was like a Jack Daniels commercial and had Randy Travis in it. That would have been appropriate. That dude, he likes to get hammered. Oh,
Don't we all? Do you guys remember...
Forever and ever,
Hey.
amen.
Hey,
Do you guys remember the Queen commercial, or the commercial with Queen and Another One Bites the Dust with AIWA sound systems? Do you guys remember that one at all?
No.
Okay, so 2007, and I remember this because I laughed my ass off when it came out. So... It starts out with a guy putting a CD in the CD player of a vehicle, and the song starts to play. He's rocking out and dancing and having a blast to Another One Bites the Dust, waving to people out the car, looking back and everything. And people are passing him, looking at him in disgust and laughing and pointing. Because when it pans out, he is leading a funeral in a hearse, playing Another One Bites the Dust. And I lost my whole mind when I saw that commercial. Because it's like literally, I'm telling you, look it up afterwards, you'll love it. But that was like one of the last ones on my list because I totally remembered it out of nowhere. And I'm like, oh my God, that's one of my favorite commercials with a song in it that I know.
That's hilarious and very apropos.
Right? So
what was it? And so it's for Iowa Sound.
Iowa Sound, yeah.
So like this car stereo.
Yeah.
So he's got this big ass car stereo blasting out of One Bites Us, and he's
and he's going like,
there's a
and
funeral.
he's like waving, and he's driving the hearse, and the guy next to him's like, but it's so funny. That one was actually funny.
Wow, that's great. That's
I'm telling you,
awesome.
look it up after the show. You'll love it.
Well, I think too maybe can be. I think if something is incredibly clever, it can be forgiven or really funny.
Yeah.
It can, and that is kind of clever and funny. I'd buy that for $1.
That was it. It was a great one, though. It makes me laugh every time I watch it, and I watched it like 4 times today.
There's no proof. People love funny commercials. I don't know why. I don't know why I know the stupid fact, but while people love funny commercials, there's no link between humor and sales. So
Really?
you can have like a really funny commercial,
And it means nothing.
and it doesn't necessarily mean that people are going to buy. Do you remember?
Yeah. I got sick of that.
You
So
know,
crazy.
Yeah, shit like that. Like it was that didn't necessarily sell more. It just Keith, you got any others you want to talk about before we? Run
hell yeah! I got one of the greatest ones of all time. And it's pretty modern. It's the Geico Round and Round with RATT. We got a RATT problem.
Yep, that's the best
shit,
one.
Man. When first time I saw that commercial, I had to actually pinch myself to make sure I wasn't just having one of them wacky dreams. That shit is funny, and they actually probably brought their careers back a little bit, at least jump started something. They said they might even be put on new music now. God knows why, but they're going to try it.
I believe that not that they were high on the charts at all, but I believe that put them back on the chart for a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's what I heard too. That shit works. That shit really works.
Yeah, they went to the top of Spotify almost immediately for a couple weeks. Here's my sort of thoughts on that commercial. I think that's an example of something that was like the another One Bites Us thing that was very clever. Also, it isn't the band necessarily endorsing the product. Also, it keeps with the spirit of rock and roll because it's like they're in these people's house making all this racket, and that's what you get the idea. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
So they're kind of pests. so to speak.
Oh yeah, the great part is every time they go to another room, they're in that room playing. They're like in the bathroom or in the freaking kitchen. I mean, they're in the,
Right.
in the basement. That's a classic. Geico makes probably the best commercial, to be honest.
And that is I think that's a really good way of approaching it. And also the other thing is RATT hasn't been on the charts in 30 years?
Yeah, long ass time.
So that music is pretty it's not really in the public eye. So it had the added benefit of, resurrecting, interest in RATT. So in this case, I got to say, for the most part, I dislike this, but for in this case, I got to say, I think it's very cool.
It's a very cool idea. And also, how many people out there have never heard that song before and probably think it's a new song by a new band?
Right.
I don't know why those guys look so old, Mom, but this is a cool song.
How's come nobody brought up Lust for Life? Which is actually in a bunch of stuff, but it's been in As for Chrysler, Swift Cover Insurance, Royal Caribbean.
It's been in a lot.
It's been in tons of songs.
Twisted Sisters, We're Not Gonna Take It's been in a lot too. They were in Extended Stay America, Yaz, which is a birth control. I remember that one. Walmart, Stanley Steamer. They were in a lot of them too. That song was in a lot of them too.
Do you guys remember when Michael Jackson bought the rights to the Beatles music?
I do remember that.
One of the very first things he did was put the Beatles in commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
and not one of MJ's finer moments, but it's. He told Paul McCartney he was going to do that. Paul McCartney told him his songwriting credits, the royalties. He's like, publishing. That's what you need to do. Paul McCartney told him, and then Michael Jackson. This is straight from Paul McCartney's mouth. Michael Jackson looked at Paul and was like, I'm going to buy your songs, Paul. But he did this like high voice doing it. And he wasn't shitting him. When you can outbid the freaking Beatles, then you got some money. I mean,
yeah. It was, this became the first of their songs licensed, Revolution for Nike, to use in commercials. But apparently the Fabs themselves were not into the ad. In July of 87, the three surviving Beatles filed a lawsuit both against Nike and the advertising firm, but it was dismissed because John Lennon's widow, Yoko Ono, had signed off on the deal, saying that the commercial is making John's music accessible to a new generation. The suit was settled out of court in 1989.
I heard she made a side deal that promised the world one more Plastic Ono Band album with just her singing this time. And then they went outside and then started beating puppies with a bat and sounded the same damn thing. So that's what you get. So that's what's happening.
Some of these are just absolutely atrocious. Embarrassing. Born to be Wild in a Diet Pepsi commercial.
Born to be Wild's also in a Geico motorcycle commercial, which is kind of funny. It's a newer one.
Brown Sugar by the Stones in a Pepsi commercial.
I remember that Pour Some Sugar on Me with Catherine
That shit don't make no
Zeta-Jones.
sense.
Pour Some Sugar on Me in a T-Mobile commercial. Cringeworthy is how VH1 described it, and I would have to agree. Good Vibrations in a Sunkissed commercial. Wow. Mercedes-Benz by Janis Joplin in You'll Never Guess What.
The Cadillac commercial?
Yeah, that would be great.
Mercedes-Benz in a Yugo commercial.
Yeah, I was going to
That would be funny.
Renault.
That's what they should have did. How about Cadbury Chocolate putting in the gorilla playing drums on In the Air Tonight? He does this massive gorilla and goes behind his drum set and just does the big drum fill, but then he starts like singing and playing at the same time, and it's pretty funny, but it's all CGI'd, I'm sure.
Lou Reed, Walk on the Wild Side in a Honda Scooters commercial. Oh, goodness gracious. Billie Jean by Michael Jackson in a Pepsi commercial. Well, that's what rockers did in the 80s, It was the Reagan era, and everybody was like, gotta make that money.
Give me that money, honey.
I Want to Rock and Roll All Night by Kiss in an Old Navy commercial.
I couldn't find the commercial. I could not find the commercial.
There's a link here, but it looks dead.
Yeah, I just could not find that commercial at all. I looked for it.
Just like some of these are just really real head scratchers.
I got a cool one. A cool one is Awake by Godsmack for a Navy recruiting video, which is actually cool because it's the Navy.
Yeah. They've been associated with the military for a long time. They're big like supporters of the troops and stuff like that.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, and you should be. And if you don't like the police or
They got a lot
firefighters,
of crap for
EMTs,
that, man. They got
police,
they got a lot. They got a lot of
military.
hate. They got a lot of hate over that. They really did.
Why? By dicks.
Yeah. Well, that's a subject for another podcast. But this day in music, real quick. Let me see what happened this day in music. Did anything happen? Lily and I were looking at this earlier. 1991, Freddie Mercury died of complications from AIDS at his home in London's Holland Park, age 45. Oh,
that's very
so sad. Eric Carr, drummer with Kiss, died of age 41 on this day. Eric Carr and Freddie Mercury died on the same day.
That's very sad. Freddie Mercury
terrible.
probably got more airplay for that, though.
1984, married Motley Crue drummer
Lord.
Tommy Lee married Candace,
Porn star.
some porn star. Great, good for her. 1976.
But after 3 months, she was like, I can't take that thing anymore.
It was very short-lived. On this day in 1970, are you
Put that thing away, Tommy.
Hey, Keith, are you a fan of the band Chicago?
Sure, man. Yeah, they're great.
Okay, and this day in 1976, had a number one.
I love this song.
On the UK singles charts with "If You Leave Me Now." The American group's only UK number one hit, went to win a Grammy Award for Best of Pop Vocal Performance.
Little Peter Cetera vocal action on that.
On this day in 1973, Ringo Starr went to number one on the U.S. charts with "Photograph," not the Def Leppard song.
Right.
You sure?
No. No.
Also, would we like to talk about how AC/DC's Power Up went number 1 2 days ago on the charts?
What?
Yes. Would we like to talk about that at all?
I want to talk about how it's Pete Best's birthday. Born this day in 1941. Okay. But go ahead.
2 days ago, AC/DC's brand new album that just came out, like a week ago-ish, just made number one on the charts, which is their, like, third one ever. Which is pretty cool because we haven't seen them on the number one spot.
Well, Lily
in a
and
long
I
time.
listened to their album last week after the podcast.
It's in true AC/DC fashion. It sounds just like them.
It sounds like every other AC/DC record, but it's good. They rock.
Yeah. But
That's
they
the
are
problem.
number one, so that is awesome, I think.
They just sound like AC/DC. They don't sound like,
Here's a podcast idea for you for the future. Let's take AC/DC out of the equation. Who's the best Australian rock band of all time? It can't be AC/DC because that's probably number one on everybody's list. Who's the best Australian rock band if AC/DC never existed?
In Excess.
That's who I had said.
Absolutely, hands down.
I love me some
What about-
Michael
They're
Hutchins.
amazing. That's an amazing.
What about LRB, man?
In Excess.
Okay. What about
Excess.
Silverchair?
In Excess.
What about Men at Work?
In Excess.
Really,
In
Men at
Excess.
Work. Come
Yeah.
on.
Come on.
NXS might be number one on people's list over AC/DC, to be honest
Dude,
with
those are the two greatest
They're
things that
amazing.
Australia ever come out with. The guys in I read many years ago. Read a great interview with NXS, and they were
I'd say
very
it's a man
intimidated by AC/DC because AC/DC, they said in Australia they are like everything.
They're gods.
It's all musicians are like, oh my god, AC/DC were like so not worthy, and so they were like them coming out were just like, can we even do anything like in the shadow of AC/DC? I think they're
they're
great
amazing.
band. Well, they were being humble about it, but
Yeah.
they were giant AC/DC fans. If you're, I mean, nowadays it's different, but this was in the 80s. It was a different time. Yeah, very cool, man.
you. Yeah, I'm not harping on it, but it's like NXS is 10 times more versatile than AC/DC would ever be. So.
For sure.
I told you it was Pete Best's birthday. Guess who else's birthday today? This would be a great rhythm section, by the way. Donald Duck Dunn. It's his birthday today. See, Pete Best and Duck Dunn could jam out together, although Duck is gone. He has left this world.
Pete Best was actually Pete Best and his band, the Pete Best Band. They played Heartwood Acres probably 5 years ago, maybe 6. I don't know what he's playing, but he was still out there doing it 5 years
Probably
ago.
like doing Beatles.
I really doubt. Hey, you never know. I don't know what kind of songwriting skills he had.
Who knows? Maybe he's brilliant. We're like joking about it, but maybe he's brilliant. And happy birthday.
I've read stories that said that Pete Best was a better drummer than Ringo ever was at the time.
I've heard that.
But they just kind of, who didn't like Pete Best when they started doing it was just like get into the management situation. Like certain people that were running the ship behind the scenes was like, I don't like Pete, he's a dick. But I don't know.
Maybe. That's entire. We could talk about that at some point, but I don't know. Anyways, guys, you've been listening to Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. My name is Lou Lombardi, a.k.a. Loudini. You can find out more information at loulombardirocks.com. Lily V6 from Rock Rage Radio. When's your show again?
Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Rock Rage Radio, or go to rockrageradio.com. Get the free app.
And Keith the Hawk Hawkins, what's the final word? You have the final word. Quit picking your nose. Don't you know it's a goddamn pandemic, fucker?
The final word is called wear a mask, because if you don't, you'll get the sniffles, sweet and sour style. Don't get the sweet and sour sniffles. Wear a mask, stay away from people, and just hide in your house like a goddamn hermit.
Lick their faces.
And spit at people and tell them you have COVID like that one jerk-off did yesterday.
Actually, I had a friend get arrested in Houston for doing that.
He got arrested, though. That old guy that spit at those people got arrested. If he'd have spit at me, I'd have whooped his ass. He wouldn't have had the time to get arrested because he'd have been in the fucking morgue after that.
Wow. Okay.
Old or not.
I don't know if we should end on that. Next time
Enjoy your Thanksgiving.
There you are. Next, hey, Keith.
Don't eat too much turkey.
There you are. Thank you.
Eat all the turkey.
That's it. See, that's the kind of thing we got to end with. Not like...
You love turkey.
Spitting on somebody.
I'm just telling you, this is current events, bro. Look it up.
I hate you guys.
Eat some turkey. Don't spit on anybody. Listen to Rock Rage Radio. And make sure you always check out the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. Guys, have a happy Thanksgiving, rest of your week. And we'll talk to you on the next Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. See you guys.